The dead who didn't sleep, but spoke centuries later. It was the year 1950. The weather was typically cold, the days slow and damp. Near the small Danish town of Silkeborg, two local men were digging through marshy land to extract peat for fuel. Suddenly, their hands felt something soft yet oddly human. When they brushed away the surrounding layers, they found the body of a man. No clothes, no shoes, just a leather cap and a rope tied firmly around his neck. His face, so calm, it looked like he was only asleep. Peaceful, silent, and unbelievably well preserved. But this was no recent death. This man had died more than 2,000 years ago. The Tollund Man, the mysterious resident of the bog. This was the discovery of the Tollund Man, a man whose body had been preserved by the acidity and dampness of the bog, as if time had simply paused for him. His skin, his hair, even his brain, everything remained intact. His hair had turned red, not by blood, but by the magic of time. Only one of his legs remained fully intact, alongside his remarkably lifelike head. The rope around his neck raised serious suspicions. Was he hanged? Strangled? Was it murder? Or a sacred execution? Leading forensic expert Dr. Niels Linderup reopened the case using modern technology, hoping to finally answer the mystery. Was the Tollund Man killed, punished, or offered as a sacrifice to the gods? Nature's astonishing preservation. His skin, his hair, even his brain survived. 2,500 years submerged in peaty waters had dyed his hair red, but preserved it like a time capsule. His neck, his organs, and his bones were transported from the museum to a university hospital where X-rays, CT scans, and forensic endoscopy would be used to uncover the secrets buried inside him. Cause of death, hanging, or something else. As the data came in, Niels and his team saw no broken bones, no signs of internal trauma, except the telltale marks of a rope that had rested high on the neck. No struggle, no fractures. This was not a violent fight. This was calm. This was ritualistic. A willing sacrifice, or the judgment of the gods. Even his last meal was preserved. Inside his intestines were wild seeds, grains, oats, and moss, but most notably barley, infected with ergot, a fungus known to induce terrifying hallucinations. Had he eaten it by accident, or was it given to him intentionally to create a sense of possession, to mark him as cursed? Throughout Europe, similar bodies had been found in bogs, blindfolded, bound, stabbed, or strangled. Many showed signs of violent death, but were carefully placed like children laid to sleep. The Tollund Man, his calm face, his final meal, the careful burial, all pointed toward one conclusion. He was not punished. He was chosen. The coastal secret: when the sea gave up a body. On Canada's southern shores, where cold Atlantic winds meet sand and stone, a peaceful fishing village named Land's Ox Loops rests quietly. But one day, the sea offered something it had hidden for a long time. A tattered cloth flapped in the breeze. Closer inspection revealed it wasn't trash. It was the broken corner of a coffin. Inside it, human bones, a dark shadow on white sand, an unknown corpse. This body was far from ordinary. Short in height, unfamiliar features, and tightly curled hair, possibly of African descent. The body bore signs of trauma, especially a serious arm injury that suggested a blow. Who was this person? Where did they come from? And most importantly, why were they buried in a shallow seaside grave, unearthed from sand, entered into history? Historical archaeologist Dr. James Tuck of Memorial University led the delicate excavation. With care, the soft sand was removed. The body was lifted gently, knowing it was not just a corpse, but a historical question. The coffin was simple, a few clothing fragments. The placement showed someone had taken care, had buried them with intention. The body speaks a story. The bones, the teeth, the hair, all told the story of someone not from this land. And the injury? A sharp blow, not an accident, not a drowning, but perhaps an attack. A stranger from the sea, or a marked soul. His race, size, and hair texture, none matched the local population. So who was he? A sailor? A slave? A passenger lost to history? The community buried him separate, silent, solemn. Was it shame, reverence, or secrecy? From life to death. All questions. No answers. No weapons. No shackles. But one body, one coffin, one grave. And that was enough to ask. Was this a ritual burial? Was he a victim? A sacrifice? Or a forgotten traveler? The dead, the living, and the unanswered. Two men, two corpses, two deaths in ancient silence, yet both preserved by peat, by sand, by mystery. One in a bog, red-haired and peaceful, the other by the sea, wounded and unknown. And in both, one haunting truth. Their deaths were not accidents. Perhaps one died to appease gods, the other to serve a purpose, history erased. But in their stillness, they speak. In their bones, they whisper. And centuries later, we are finally listening.